Welcome back to my channel, Learning English Level 3. In today's video, we are going to talk about a topic that can change your life and help you in so many ways: the power of manifestation. Have you ever thought about how to make your dreams come true? Whether it's a better job, success in school, or personal happiness, manifestation can help you bring your desires into reality. In this video, we'll explore how to manifest anything you want and improve your English fluency at the same time. This video will show you how to use manifestation in your daily life and provide you with clear and simple stories to help you practice English while learning something amazing. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe. Your support means a lot and helps me create more content for you. So, let's dive right in and learn how to use the power of manifestation. Lesson 1. What is manifestation? Manifestation is the process of turning your desires, dreams, and goals into reality by focusing on them, believing they are achievable, and taking the necessary actions to bring them to life. It's the power of your mind and energy working together to create the outcomes you want. At its core, manifestation is not about simply wishing for something to happen. It's about aligning your thoughts, actions, and beliefs to create the reality you desire. The first step is to set clear intentions. Then focus your energy on those intentions, believing they're possible and working steadily toward them. It's like planting seeds in the soil of your mind. With care, persistence, and the right actions, those seeds can grow into something real and beautiful. Manifestation is more than just positive thinking. It's a belief that your goals are not just a dream, but an achievable future. It requires consistent focus, belief in your potential, and the willingness to take inspired actions toward your desires. Manifesting is a process that involves visualizing success, trusting that you can achieve it, and making moves that bring you closer to your goals. Example story 1. John and his dream of owning a business. John had always dreamed of becoming a business owner. He envisioned being his own boss and having a business where he could focus on doing something he loved. However, John didn't know where to start. He wasn't sure how to take the first step. He had many ideas, but he couldn't find a clear path. One day, John learned about manifestation. He realized that instead of waiting for the perfect time or opportunity, he needed to start by focusing on his dream and believing that it could become a reality. John decided to manifest his dream of owning a business. Every morning, he wrote down his goals in a journal. He visualized what his store would look like, the products he would sell, and the customers he would serve. John imagined himself talking about his business idea with excitement to everyone he met. He began to focus all of his energy on this dream and the steps he needed to take. Days turned into weeks, and as John stayed focused and persistent, something amazing happened. He met a person who had experience in starting businesses. This person offered guidance, and together they worked out a plan. John took action by doing research, securing funding, and finding a location. He worked tirelessly, believing that his hard work and belief would pay off. Today, John is a proud owner of a successful store. His business is thriving, and he now understands that manifestation isn't just about wishing for something to happen. It's about taking consistent steps toward your dream and believing it will become a reality. John's journey shows that manifestation works when you focus on your goals and take action, even when the road seems uncertain. Example story 2. Sarah's journey to exam success. Sarah was a student who struggled with exams. Despite studying, she often felt unprepared and was afraid of failing. She believed she was just bad at exams and that no matter how hard she tried, she wouldn't be able to perform well. Her negative thoughts made her anxious and worried, which affected her focus and results. One day, Sarah came across the idea of manifestation. She learned that her mindset and beliefs played a major role in her success. Sarah decided to change her thoughts. Instead of telling herself, "I can't do this," she started saying, "I am improving every day. I am learning and getting better." She began visualizing herself feeling confident and calm while taking the exam. Sarah also started to implement new study techniques, practicing more effectively, and believing that her hard work would lead to success. With this new mindset, she approached her studies with a sense of excitement and determination. Every day, she focused on her progress, no matter how small. She started feeling more confident, and her anxiety decreased. On the day of the exam, Sarah was nervous, but she remembered her new mindset. She kept telling herself, "I can do this." Sarah worked through the exam with confidence, recalling everything she had studied. A few weeks later, Sarah found out that she had passed her exams with great marks, far better than she had expected. Sarah's story shows how manifestation can transform not only your actions, but also your mindset. By believing in her ability to improve, Sarah changed the outcome of her exams. Manifestation helped her build the confidence and focus she needed to succeed. Example story 3, Tom's manifestation of a new job. Tom had been searching for a new job for months. He applied to dozens of positions, but he faced many rejections. Each time he got a rejection email, he felt discouraged and wondered if he would ever find the right job. Tom's frustration grew, and soon he started to feel like he wasn't good enough for the positions he was applying to. One morning, Tom decided to try something different. He had heard about the power of manifestation and thought, what if I change my approach? What if I focused on what I truly wanted, instead of what I didn't want? Tom decided to manifest his perfect job. He took a few minutes every day to write down his ideal job. He described the company, the type of work, the people he wanted to work with, and the salary he desired. He also imagined himself feeling happy, motivated, and successful in this new role. Tom visualized himself waking up each day excited to go to work and making a positive impact at his job. Instead of focusing on the rejections, Tom started focusing on the job he truly wanted. He continued to apply for positions, but with a new attitude. He felt more confident and believed that the right job was just around the corner. A few months later, Tom received a call for an interview with a company he had admired for years. He went into the interview with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that he was the right fit for the job. A week later, Tom received an offer for his dream job. He accepted the position and felt incredibly grateful. His hard work, focus, and belief in himself had manifested the opportunity he had been dreaming of. Tom's story highlights how manifestation can help shift your mindset from doubt to belief. When you focus on what you want and take inspired action, the universe can open doors that you never thought possible. Lesson 2. How does manifestation work? Manifestation works by aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions towards what you want to create in your life. It starts with your thoughts because what you think about influences your energy. Your mind is powerful, and the thoughts you focus on can shape your reality. When you think positively and focus on possibilities, your energy aligns with what you want, and you start attracting those things into your life. But manifestation isn't just about thinking or hoping for something to happen. It's about maintaining a positive mindset, staying focused on your goals, and taking inspired action toward them. Your thoughts fuel your emotions, and your emotions fuel your actions. All three, thoughts, feelings, and actions, work together to bring your desires into reality. The key is to stay committed and believe that what you want is already on its way to you. Manifestation works best when you actively participate in the process by making decisions and taking actions that align with your goals. Positive thoughts lead to positive feelings, which drive you to take inspired actions, and each step you take brings you closer to your desired outcome. Example story 1, Lily's journey to better health. Lily had always struggled with her health. She dreamed of being healthier and losing weight, but for years, she believed it was impossible. She often thought, "I'll never be able to lose this weight. I don't have the time to exercise. I don't have the willpower to stick to a diet." Her thoughts were negative, and they caused her to feel frustrated and discouraged. She didn't believe she could change her situation. One day, Lily learned about the power of manifestation. She realized that her thoughts were holding her back. Instead of thinking about how difficult it would be, she decided to change her mindset. She began imagining how amazing it would feel to be healthy. She thought about having more energy, feeling confident in her body, and living a healthier lifestyle. With this new mindset, Lily started to make small but powerful changes. She began eating healthier meals and found simple ways to exercise. She started walking every day and gradually incorporated other activities like yoga. As she took these actions, Lily noticed her energy levels increase, and she started feeling better about herself. Her positive thoughts and feelings were now aligned with her actions, and as a result, she began to lose weight and gain confidence. After a few months, Lily had transformed her health. She felt stronger, more energetic, and healthier than ever. Her thoughts of doubt were replaced with thoughts of possibility, and those new thoughts led her to take consistent actions. Lily had manifested her health goals by staying focused on a positive outcome and making small, daily improvements. Lily's story shows how powerful the combination of thoughts, feelings, and actions can be. By focusing on what she wanted, instead of what she didn't want, Lily manifested a healthier, stronger version of herself. Example story 2, James' dream vacation. James always dreamed of traveling to another country. He imagined exploring new places, experiencing different cultures, and taking a break from his busy life. However, he was in a difficult financial situation. He didn't have enough money to pay for a trip, and every time he thought about it, he became discouraged. James felt like his dream vacation was impossible, especially because he couldn't afford it. But one day, James realized that he had been focusing too much on the problem instead of the solution. He decided to shift his thinking. Instead of focusing on a lack of money, he started thinking about how exciting it would be to travel. He imagined himself walking through the streets of a foreign city, visiting famous landmarks and trying new foods. He pictured himself feeling relaxed, happy, and free. With this new positive mindset, James took action. He started saving money, even if it was just a little each month. He researched affordable travel deals, and he began looking for ways to make his dream vacation a reality. James didn't let his financial situation stop him. He believed that he could find a way to travel. He took inspired action by cutting down on unnecessary spending and setting aside money for his trip. Several months later, James was able to book his dream vacation. By focusing on his goal, believing it was possible, and taking steps to make it happen, He manifested his trip abroad. James learned that when you change your thoughts and take action toward your dreams, opportunities begin to appear. He was able to travel to a foreign country and experience the adventure of a lifetime. James' story demonstrates how manifestation works by shifting your focus from limitations to possibilities. By visualizing his dream vacation and taking practical steps, James manifested his travel experience. Example story 3, Anna and her dream car. Anna had an old, broken-down car that barely worked. She dreamed of having a new car, one that was reliable, comfortable, and beautiful. However, she felt trapped. Her old car needed constant repairs, and she didn't have the money to buy a new one. Every time she thought about it, Anna felt stuck, as though her dream car was out of reach. One day, Anna decided to change her approach. She realized that her thoughts were focused on her lack of money and the state of her current car. Instead of thinking about what she didn't have, she began to focus on what she truly wanted. She imagined driving a new car every day, one that was sleek, modern, and dependable. She pictured herself enjoying the freedom of having a car that worked perfectly. Anna started to feel excited and hopeful. She focused on the positive aspects of having a new car, and she believed that it was possible. With this new mindset, Anna began to take action. She saved a small amount of money every month and researched car prices. She set a goal to save enough for a down payment and worked out a budget to make it happen. Anna also made sure to keep her focus on her goal, her dream car. Over time, Anna's savings grew and she found the perfect car. She was able to buy it and drive it home. Her old car was now a thing of the past, and she felt incredibly proud of her accomplishment. By changing her thoughts, focusing on what she wanted, and taking small steps towards her goal, Anna had manifested the car she had always dreamed of. Anna's story teaches us that manifestation is not about waiting for something to magically appear. It's about focusing on your desires, staying positive, and taking consistent action. By manifesting her dream car, Anna turned her vision into reality. Lesson 3. The power of positive thinking. Positive thinking is a powerful tool in the manifestation process. It's about choosing to focus on what is possible rather than what seems impossible. The way you think influences the energy you project into the world. When you adopt a positive mindset, you attract positive outcomes into your life. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect, but it means approaching life with a belief that good things can happen and that you can find solutions to problems. When you think positively, you open your mind to new possibilities and opportunities. You focus on solutions instead of dwelling on problems. This shift in perspective can have a dramatic effect on your life. Positive thinking helps you stay motivated, focused, and aligned with your goals. It's about believing that no matter what obstacles you face, you have the ability to overcome them and achieve your desires. Positive thinking works hand in hand with manifestation, because when you think positively, you are reinforcing the belief that your dreams are not only possible but inevitable. Your thoughts influence your actions, and when you act from a place of positivity, you take inspired action that leads you closer to your goals. Example story 1. Peter's shift from unluckiness to opportunity. Peter had always felt unlucky. He often found himself in situations where things didn't go as planned. Whether it was in his job, personal life, or even his finances, Peter felt like the universe was always working against him. He would look around and see other people succeeding while he felt stuck. He thought, Why does nothing ever go right for me? Maybe I'm just not lucky. His negative thinking kept him in a cycle of self-doubt and frustration. But one day, Peter decided to try something different. He had heard a lot about the power of positive thinking, and although he was skeptical, he thought, what do I have to lose? He decided to start focusing on the good things in his life, instead of thinking about everything that was going wrong. Peter began to acknowledge the small successes he had. He started thinking about his health, his supportive friends, and even the fact that he had a job. Peter made it a daily practice to focus on the positive aspect of his life. He started saying to himself, I am lucky to have these good things. More good things are coming my way. Over time, his mindset shifted. Peter began to feel more confident and hopeful. He noticed new opportunities opening up for him. At work, he was given a chance to lead a project. He met people who shared his interests and helped him grow. The positive energy he was putting out into the world attracted more positive circumstances into his life. Peter's life transformed when he stopped focusing on what he didn't have and started focusing on what he did. Positive thinking didn't just change his perspective, it changed the course of his life. Opportunities flowed in, and Peter was ready to embrace them. His story shows that a simple shift in mindset can create a ripple effect of positive changes in your life. Example story 2, Maria's presentation success. Maria had always been a hard worker, but one area where she struggled was public speaking. She had to give a big presentation at work to a group of senior executives, and the pressure made her feel extremely nervous. The night before the presentation, Maria started to doubt herself. What if I mess up? What if they don't like my ideas? The negative thoughts consumed her, and she felt as if she was destined to fail. But a friend of hers who knew about the power of positive thinking told her, Maria, you prepared well. Just imagine yourself speaking confidently and doing a great job. Visualize yourself succeeding. Believe in yourself and you will. Maria was hesitant, but she decided to take her friend's advice. That night, she spent some time visualizing herself walking confidently into the room, speaking clearly, and receiving praise for her ideas. She focused on how good it would feel to succeed and how proud she would be of herself. The next day, when it was time for her presentation, Maria felt the nerves creeping in, but instead of giving in to fear, she focused on her positive visualization. She told herself, I am ready. I can do this. As she began her presentation, something incredible happened. Maria felt calm and confident. She spoke clearly, made strong points, and even handled the questions with ease. By the end of the presentation, she received positive feedback from the executives, who were impressed with her clarity and ideas. Maria's story highlights how positive thinking can shift your mindset in a critical moment. By visualizing success and focusing on the belief that she was capable, Maria was able to perform at her best. Positive thinking empowered her to overcome her fear and succeed. Example story 3, Kevin's scholarship journey. Kevin was a high school senior with big dreams of going to college. He had always worked hard in school, but he wasn't sure if he had what it took to win a scholarship. He knew that many students applied for the same scholarships, and he wasn't sure if his grades or extracurricular activities were strong enough. His thoughts often turned negative. There are so many others who are more qualified than me. I probably won't get this scholarship. But Kevin's guidance counselor, who knew about the power of positive thinking, encouraged him to change his mindset. She said, Kevin, you are deserving of this opportunity. Believe in yourself and keep applying. You have what it takes. Kevin wasn't fully convinced, but he decided to follow her advice. He began to repeat positive affirmations every day, such as, "I am deserving of this scholarship. I am a strong candidate. This scholarship is mine." Every time Kevin felt doubt, he reminded himself of his worth and continued working hard on his scholarship applications. He focused on the skills and achievements he had worked so hard for, instead of worrying about what others might have. Kevin's belief in himself grew stronger with each passing day. Weeks later, Kevin received the news that he had been awarded the scholarship. It was a life-changing moment. His positive thinking had helped him stay motivated and persistent through the application process. Kevin's story proves that believing in your own worth and focusing on the positive can lead to incredible outcomes. Lesson 4, Visualization. See your success. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools in manifestation. It involves imagining yourself already achieving your goals. When you can vividly picture your success in your mind, you begin to align your actions and energy with that vision. Visualization is more than just daydreaming. It's about creating a clear and detailed mental image of what you want to achieve. The more you visualize your success, the more motivated and focused you become, and the more likely you are to manifest that success in your real life. When you visualize, you activate the same parts of your brain that are involved when you actually experience the event. This process helps you to feel more confident, focused, and ready to take action. Visualization reinforces the belief that what you want is possible, and by imagining yourself already succeeding, you begin to build the emotional connection needed to manifest your desires. It's a way of programming your mind to expect success. Visualization can help you overcome doubts, stay positive, and remain committed to your goals. By creating a strong mental image of your success, you create a sense of ownership and certainty. When you can see your success clearly, it becomes easy to take inspired actions towards making a reality. Example story 1, Sophia and the marathon. Sophia had always admired people who could run long distances, but she never thought she could do it herself. She wasn't a runner. In fact, even jogging for a few minutes made her out of breath. But one day, Sophia set a goal to run a marathon. She knew it would be challenging, and at first, the idea of running 26 miles seemed impossible. Instead of focusing on how difficult it would be, Sophia decided to use the power of visualization. Every day, she imagined herself crossing the finish line with a sense of pride and accomplishment. She could picture herself feeling strong, with a smile on her face as the crowd cheered her on. In her mind, she could see herself running effortlessly, pacing herself through the race, and feeling victorious at the end. Sophia imagined the joy she would feel when she finally achieved this goal. Sophia didn't just stop at visualization. She took inspired action. She began training for the marathon, following a strict running plan. Each day, she pushed herself a little further, always remembering her visualization of crossing the finish line. As the marathon day approached, Sophia remained focused on the image she had created in her mind. When the big day finally arrived, she felt a deep sense of belief that she could finish the race. As she ran, she kept visualizing herself succeeding, and sure enough, she completed the marathon. Sophia's story shows the power of visualization in building confidence and staying motivated. By vividly imagining her success, she was able to push through the challenges of training and ultimately achieved her dream. Visualization helped her believe she could finish the marathon, and that belief led her to take the necessary actions to make it happen. Example story 2. Daniel and his dream of being a musician. Daniel had always dreamed of becoming a successful musician. He loved playing guitar and writing songs, but he wasn't sure if he had what it took to make it big. He didn't come from a musical family, and he often felt like there were more talented musicians out there. Despite his passion, self-doubt held him back. He wasn't sure if he had the ability or the confidence to perform in front of an audience. One day, Daniel decided to try visualization. He started imagining himself on stage, performing in front of a large crowd. He could see the lights shining down on him, the audience clapping, and the joy of sharing his music with the world. Daniel began to vividly picture himself performing, feeling the excitement of being on stage and hearing the applause of his fans. This image became clearer and clearer in his mind each day. By visualizing himself as a successful musician, Daniel began to shift his mindset. Instead of focusing on his doubts and insecurities, he focused on the success he was visualizing. He practiced his guitar every day, worked on his music, and took every opportunity to perform, no matter how small the audience. Daniel also visualized himself collaborating with other musicians and growing his fan base. The more he visualized his success, the more motivated he became to work hard and stay focused on his goal. One day, Daniel got the chance to perform at a local music festival. He was nervous, but he remembered his visualizations. When he stepped onto the stage, he felt a wave of confidence. He played his heart out, and the crowd responded with excitement. From that moment on, Daniel's music career began to take off. He kept visualizing his success, and one performance led to another. Eventually, Daniel was able to sign a record deal and tour the world. Daniel's story shows how visualization can help you believe in your abilities and stay motivated to work towards your dreams. By seeing himself succeed in his mind, Daniel built the confidence and drive needed to pursue his passion and turn his dream of being a musician into a reality. Example story 3. Hannah's dream of becoming an author. Hannah had always loved writing, but she didn't believe she could ever write a book. She thought that writing a book was something only experienced authors could do. Hannah dreamed of becoming an author, but self-doubt and fear of failure held her back. She would start writing, only to stop because she thought her work wasn't good enough. One day, Hannah decided to try visualization as a way to overcome her doubts. She began imagining herself holding her finished book in her hands. She visualized herself sharing her book with friends and readers, feeling proud of the work she had accomplished. Hannah could see herself at a book launch event, meeting readers who had been touched by her story. This image filled her with excitement and a sense of possibility. Each day, Hannah visualized herself writing her book and becoming a published author. She began to take action by writing a little bit every day, even when she didn't feel like it. Whenever she felt stuck or uncertain, she would close her eyes and picture the moment when she would hold her book in her hands. She kept her visualization in her mind, and it pushed her to keep going. Years later, Hannah's dream came true. She finished her first novel and signed a publishing deal. When she finally held her book in her hands, she remembered the countless hours of visualization that had kept her focused on her goal. Today, she is a published author, and she continues to visualize her future success. Hannah's story teaches us the importance of believing in ourselves and the power of visualization. By imagining herself as a successful author, Hannah overcame her fears and stayed focused on her goal. Her visualization kept her motivated to write every day, and eventually, it helped her manifest her dream of becoming an author. Lesson 5. Taking inspired action. Manifestation is not just about thinking or visualizing your dreams. It also requires taking action. You can't simply sit back and wait for things to happen. You have to actively work towards your goals. Manifestation is about aligning your thoughts and intentions with action. When you take steps toward your goals, you show the universe that you are serious about what you want, and you create the momentum needed to bring your dreams into reality. Taking inspired action means moving toward your goals with purpose, enthusiasm, and commitment. It's not about doing everything at once or pushing yourself too hard, but rather taking consistent, meaningful steps that get you closer to your vision. These steps don't need to be big or dramatic. Small actions add up over time and lead to massive progress. When you take inspired action, you're not only moving towards your desires, but also building your confidence and belief in the process. Each action you take reinforces the idea that your dreams are possible, and each step brings you closer to manifesting your goals. It's a crucial part of the manifestation process because it transforms your thoughts and intentions into tangible results. Example story 1. Emily's dream of opening a bakery. Emily had always dreamed of opening her own bakery. She loved baking cakes for her friends and family, and she fantasized about turning her passion into a business. But there was one big problem. Emily didn't know much about baking professionally, and she didn't have the skills or knowledge to run a bakery. Still, she couldn't shake the desire to make it happen. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the right qualifications, Emily decided to take inspired action. She enrolled in a baking course to learn the technical skills she needed. She didn't wait for everything to be perfect. She took small steps to get closer to her goal. Emily began experimenting with new cake designs and recipes. She started baking for her friends and offering her baked goods at local markets. Her first few months were difficult, but Emily remained focused on her vision. She practiced every day, learned from her mistakes, and kept improving her craft. As her confidence grew, Emily saved money and found a location for her bakery. Eventually, she opened her own shop, and it became a hit. Her bakery, which started as a small dream, was now a thriving business. Emily's story demonstrates the importance of taking inspired action. Even though she didn't know everything at first, she took the steps she could, learned along the way, and eventually manifested her dream of owning a bakery. By taking action, Emily brought her dream to life. Example story 2. Brian's path to becoming a teacher. Brian always knew he wanted to be a teacher. He loved working with children and helping them learn. However, he didn't have the proper qualifications to become a teacher, and he wasn't sure how to make his dream a reality. Brian found himself stuck in a job he didn't enjoy, feeling frustrated and unsure of how to start his teaching career. One day, Brian realized that if he wanted to become a teacher, he needed to take action. He decided to take the necessary steps to gain the qualifications he needed. He enrolled in a course to get his teaching certification. He studied hard and committed to the process, knowing that this was a path that would lead him to his dream. After completing the course, Brian was ready to apply for teaching jobs. He took action by searching for job openings, updating his resume, and applying to schools. Within a few months, Brian landed his first teaching job. He was overjoyed, knowing that his hard work and commitment had paid off. His dream of becoming a teacher had finally come true, thanks to the inspired action he took along the way. Brian's story highlights how taking action is essential to achieving your goals. He didn't wait for the perfect opportunity. Instead, he created it by taking the necessary steps toward his dream. By taking action, Brian was able to manifest his career as a teacher and build a future he loved. Example story 3. Chloe's fashion design success. Chloe had always loved fashion. She would sketch designs in her notebook for hours, imagining what it would be like to have her own fashion line. But she didn't have enough money to start a business, and she wasn't sure how to turn her passion into a career. Despite these challenges, Chloe refused to give up on her dream of becoming a fashion designer. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, Chloe took inspired action. She started by sketching her designs every day, refining her craft. She didn't have a lot of money, but she found ways to get creative. She used inexpensive materials to make prototypes of her designs and share them with friends and family for feedback. Chloe saved money from her day job to invest in her fashion designs. Slowly but surely, Chloe's designs began to gain attention. People were impressed with her work, and she started selling small batches of her designs. She built a small but loyal customer base and continued working hard, refining her techniques. As her popularity grew, Chloe saved enough money to start a small online store. Soon, her designs became more well-known, and Chloe's fashion line took off. Taking inspired action made Chloe's dream a reality. By continuously working on her craft, even when resources were limited, she created a successful fashion business. Chloe's story shows that taking consistent, small actions can lead to big results, even when you're starting from scratch. Lesson 6. The Law of Attraction. The law of attraction is one of the fundamental principles behind manifestation. It says that like attracts like. This means that the energy you put out into the world, whether positive or negative, will attract similar energy back to you. If you focus on positive thoughts, emotions, and actions, you will naturally attract positive things into your life. Similarly, if you focus on negativity and fear, you are likely to attract more of the same. The law of attraction operates on the belief that your thoughts and feelings create your reality. When you send out positive energy, you not only shift your own mindset, but also create an energetic environment that draws in opportunities, people, and situations that align with your desires. Therefore, it's essential to focus on what you want rather than what you don't want. The law of attraction also encourages you to surround yourself with positive people and environments. The people you spend time with play a significant role in shaping your mindset and the energy you attract. If you're surrounded by negativity or doubt, it becomes much harder to stay focused on your goals and manifest your desires. On the other hand, when you align yourself with people who are supportive, motivated, and focused on growth, you amplify your own ability to manifest success. Example story 1. Paul and the power of surrounding himself with positive people. Paul had always struggled with success. No matter how hard he worked, things just didn't seem to go his way. Part of the problem, Paul realized, was that he was constantly surrounded by people who were negative and unsupportive. His friends and family often told him that his dreams were unrealistic, and they discouraged him from pursuing new opportunities. Every time Paul mentioned a new idea, they would dismiss it or remind him of past failures. Paul began to feel stuck. He thought that if he could just get away from the negativity, things would start to change. One day, after reflecting on the situation, Paul decided to take action. He made the decision to surround himself with people who were positive, motivated, and supportive of his goals. He started seeking out new friends and mentors who encouraged him to pursue his dreams and believe in his potential. As Paul began to change his social circle, something amazing happened. He started attracting new opportunities. He met people who shared his interests and vision for success. His new network introduced him to people in his industry, and soon Paul was able to land a job that aligned with his passions. His confidence grew, and he found himself taking bold steps toward his goals. By surrounding himself with positive, supportive people, Paul was able to shift his energy and attract the opportunities and success he had been seeking. His story shows that the people you surround yourself with can either elevate or hinder your manifestation process. Positive energy attracts more positive energy, and Paul learned that by changing his environment, he was able to change his life. Example story 2. Linda's journey to becoming a best-selling author. Linda had always dreamed of becoming a writer. She loved crafting stories and had a passion for words, but she faced a significant obstacle. The people around her didn't believe in her dreams. Her friends and family thought that writing books was a hobby, and they often told her to get a real job instead. This constant discouragement made Linda doubt herself. She wondered if her dreams of becoming a published author were unrealistic. One day, Linda realized that the negativity surrounding her was holding her back. She decided to take action. She began to surround herself with other writers who shared her passion and ambition. She joined writing groups, attended workshops, and connected with other aspiring authors who inspired her to keep going. These new relationships gave her the motivation she needed to continue working on her book. As Linda spent more time with supportive, like-minded people, her confidence grew. She began to believe that her writing could actually be successful. She worked tirelessly on her book, pouring her heart into it. Eventually, after months of hard work, Linda completed her manuscript and submitted it to publishers. To her delight, her book was accepted, and it went on to become a bestseller. Linda's story is a perfect example of how the law of attraction works. By surrounding herself with people who believed in her and encouraged her, Linda was able to attract the confidence and opportunities she needed to manifest her dream of becoming an author. Her success was not just about talent, but also about the energy she surrounded herself with. Positive people helped her manifest her goals. Example story 3, Adam and his podcast dream. Adam had always wanted to start a podcast. He loved the idea of sharing his thoughts and interviewing guests about topics that fascinated him, but he was terrified of failure. He didn't know where to begin, and the fear of not being good enough held him back. Despite his passion, Adam kept putting his dream on the back burner, convinced that it was too much work or that he wasn't ready. One day, Adam decided to take control of his fear. He realized that he needed to take inspired action and trust that the universe would provide the opportunities he needed. He started by visualizing his podcast, imagining himself speaking into the microphone, interviewing interesting guests, and sharing his thoughts with a growing audience. This visualization motivated Adam to take small steps each day to bring his vision to life. But the real magic happened when Adam met someone who had experience in the podcasting world. Through a friend of a friend, Adam connected with a podcast producer who offered to help him get started. This person guided Adam through the technical aspects of podcasting, from editing to publishing. Together, they worked on creating the first few episodes, and Adam's podcast launched successfully. As Adam continued to visualize his success and took action toward his goal, he found himself meeting the right people and attracting the resources he needed. His podcast grew in popularity, and Adam's dream became a reality. The law of attraction had worked in his favor by bringing the right connections and opportunities into his life at the right time. Adam's story shows that by focusing on your vision, trusting that the right people will come into your life, and taking action, you can manifest your desires. The law of attraction works by aligning your energy with your goals and bringing the people, resources, and opportunities you need to make your dreams come true. Lesson 7. Gratitude, the key to more abundance. Gratitude is one of the most powerful practices in manifestation. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you send out positive energy into the universe, which in turn attracts more things to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your mindset from what's lacking to what's abundant, and this shift is essential for manifesting more of what you desire. It opens the door for more opportunities, success, and joy to enter your life. The practice of gratitude is more than just saying thank you for things. It's about truly feeling and appreciating the present moment, recognizing the blessings you have right now. When you start appreciating the small things, you start to see more things to appreciate. Gratitude helps you feel good about what you have. And when you feel good, you align yourself with positive energy. The more you feel gratitude, the more abundance you invite into your life. It's easy to get caught up in what you don't have or what's going wrong. But practicing gratitude helps you refocus on what's going well. By doing so, you increase your vibration and create a positive cycle of attracting even more good things. Example story 1. Olivia's job promotion through gratitude. Olivia had always been unhappy with her job. She felt underappreciated. And no matter how hard she worked, it seemed like her efforts were overlooked. Every day, she complained about the long hours, the lack of recognition, and the repetitive tasks. Olivia felt like there was no way out of her dissatisfaction. One day, a close friend suggested she try practicing gratitude. Her friend explained that by focusing on the good things in her life, she could shift her mindset and attract more positivity. At first, Olivia was skeptical. She didn't feel like there was much to be grateful for, but she decided to give it a try. Every evening before bed, Olivia wrote down 3 things she was thankful for. At first, it was small things: her health, the food she had to eat, the roof over her head. Slowly, Olivia began to focus more on the positives in her life, even in her job. As she continued practicing gratitude, Olivia noticed something incredible. Her outlook began to shift. She became more appreciative of the aspects of her job that she had previously taken for granted. She started feeling more confident in her work, and her attitude changed from frustration to appreciation. This shift didn't go unnoticed by her boss. Olivia was soon called in for a meeting and offered promotion. Her boss praised her hard work, and the positive energy Olivia had been putting out was recognized. By practicing gratitude, Olivia was able to transform her work life. Instead of focusing on the negatives, she shifted her focus to the positives, which led to a promotion. Gratitude helped her appreciate what she had, which in turn opened the door for more abundance in the form of a better job position. Example story 2. Jake's dream house through gratitude. Jake had been dreaming of buying a new house for years. He didn't like his small, outdated apartment, but he felt like he could never afford to buy the house of his dreams. He spent months complaining about his current living situation, focusing on how much he disliked his apartment and how expensive homes were. Jake felt stuck, and his thoughts were consumed with lack. One day, Jake decided to try something different. He remembered hearing about the power of gratitude and how it could help shift his mindset. Instead of focusing on the house he didn't have, Jake started practicing gratitude for the home he was currently in. He appreciated the fact that he had a place to live, that it kept him warm and dry, and that he was able to pay his rent every month. Every day, Jake wrote down 3 things he was grateful for, not just about his home, but in all areas of his life. As he practiced gratitude, Jake noticed a shift in his energy. He felt more positive and open to new possibilities. His outlook on life changed from one of scarcity to one of abundance. He began to see opportunities he hadn't noticed before. A few months later, Jake found a great deal on a new house in a neighborhood he loved. The house was perfect, and the price was right within his budget. He was able to secure financing and move into his dream home. Gratitude helped Jake attract what he'd been wanting. By focusing on what he had rather than what he didn't have, he was able to manifest the home he had always dreamed of. His story shows how practicing gratitude can open your eyes to the opportunities already available to you. Example story 3. Lily's travel dreams come true through gratitude. Lily had always dreamed of traveling the world, but she felt like it was out of reach. She didn't have enough money for an international trip, and every time she thought about it, she became frustrated. She would look at pictures of far-off places and feel like she would never be able to experience them for herself. She began to focus on the reasons why traveling wasn't possible for her finances, her job, and her responsibilities. One day, Lily decided to change her approach. Instead of complaining about not being able to afford travel, she started practicing gratitude for the things she already had. She began to feel thankful for the small trips she had taken in the past, even if they were local. She also appreciated her health and the fact that she had the freedom to travel at all, even if it wasn't abroad at the moment. Every day, she would list things she was grateful for, and slowly, her mindset began to shift. As Lily's gratitude practice continued, she felt a growing sense of possibility. Her energy shifted from lack to abundance, and she started seeing opportunities she hadn't noticed before. One day, Lily discovered a travel deal that was too good to pass up. She found a budget-friendly international flight, and after saving up a little money, she was able to book her trip. Within a few months, Lily was on her way to a new country, experiencing the travel she had once thought impossible. Lily's story shows how gratitude can help you manifest what you desire, even if it seems out of reach. By appreciating the small things and shifting her focus from lack to abundance, Lily attracted the opportunity to travel the world. Gratitude opened the door for her to experience her dream. Lesson 8. Stay persistent and patient. Manifestation is not an instant process. It takes time, effort, and most importantly, patience. While it's exciting to think about your dreams coming true, it's essential to understand that the universe works on its own timeline. Sometimes, things won't happen as quickly as we hope, but that doesn't mean they won't happen. Staying persistent is crucial when it comes to manifestation. Persistence means not giving up, even when progress seems slow or when obstacles appear. It's about continuing to believe in your dreams, taking consistent action, and trusting that everything's unfolding in the right way at the right time. Patience doesn't mean sitting back and waiting passively. It means remaining committed to your goal and trusting the process, even if you don't see immediate results. When you're manifesting something, it's important to understand that the journey itself is part of the process. Every step you take toward your goal is progress, even if you can't see the full picture yet. With persistence and patience, you'll eventually see the fruits of your hard work. Example story 1. Max's journey to becoming a successful entrepreneur. Max had always dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur. He was passionate about starting his own business and building something from the ground up. However, Max's path to success wasn't easy. He faced many setbacks, financial challenges, and moments of doubt. In the early years, his business didn't seem to be growing as quickly as he hoped. There were times when Max felt like giving up. He wasn't seeing the rapid success he had imagined, and it seemed like the odds were against him. But Max was determined. He knew that success didn't happen overnight. He decided to stay persistent and trust the process, even when things were tough. Max worked hard every day, learning from his mistakes and improving his business strategies. He didn't rush the process or try to force things to happen faster. Instead, he remained focused on his long-term vision and kept taking consistent action. Years passed, and Max's persistence started to pay off. Slowly but surely, his business began to grow. He secured new clients, expanded his team, and saw profits increase. Max's patience and unwavering belief in his dream allowed him to push through the difficult times. Eventually, his business became successful, and he achieved the entrepreneurial success he had always dreamed of. Max's story is a perfect example of how persistence and patience are essential to manifestation. His success didn't happen overnight, but by staying focused and trusting in the process, he eventually built the business he had envisioned. Max learned that persistence in the face of challenges is the key to turning dreams into reality. Example story 2, Mia's language learning journey. Mia had always been fascinated by languages. She dreamed of speaking multiple languages fluently, but she felt overwhelmed by how much time and effort it would take to become proficient. She decided to start learning Spanish, but after just a few weeks of studying, she felt frustrated. Mia was practicing every day, but the progress seemed slow. She struggled with pronunciation, grammar, and memorizing new vocabulary. It felt like her dream of speaking Spanish fluently was far out of reach. But Mia didn't give up. She knew that learning a new language would take time, so she chose to stay patient and keep practicing. She continued to practice every day, even when it felt like she wasn't making much progress. Mia focused on enjoying the process and reminded herself that fluency would come with time. She tried to immerse herself in the language by watching Spanish movies, listening to music, and speaking with native speakers whenever possible. A year later, Mia realized how much she had improved. She could have conversations in Spanish with ease, and her confidence grew each day. What seemed impossible at first became a reality through consistent practice and patience. Mia's persistence and belief in herself helped her reach her language learning goal, and today, she speaks Spanish fluently. Mia's story shows that persistence is key to manifesting long-term goals. Even when progress seems slow, staying patient and consistent will eventually lead to success. Learning a new language took time, but Mia's dedication to the process made her dream a reality. Example story 3, Nathan's fitness transformation. Nathan had always struggled with his fitness. He wanted to get in shape, but he often felt discouraged when he didn't see quick results. He started working out regularly, but after a few weeks, he didn't notice any major changes in his body. His weight wasn't dropping as fast as he wanted, and his muscles weren't getting as defined as he had imagined. Nathan became frustrated and wondered if his efforts were even worth it. However, instead of giving up, Nathan decided to stay persistent. He reminded himself that fitness is a long-term commitment and that results take time. He focused on doing his best every day, even when the progress seemed slow. Nathan also changed his mindset, focusing less on the immediate results and more on the small victories, like feeling stronger, having more energy, and enjoying his workouts. Months passed, and slowly but surely, Nathan began to notice changes. His muscles became more defined, his endurance increased, and his confidence grew. A few months later, Nathan was in the best shape of his life. He had manifested his fitness goals not by rushing the process, but by staying patient, consistent, and persistent. Nathan's story teaches us the importance of staying patient and persistent. Fitness, like many other goals, takes time. Instead of expecting quick results, Nathan trusted the process, stayed committed, and achieved his dream of getting fit. His journey shows that persistence and patience are essential ingredients for success. Conclusion: manifestation is a powerful tool that can help you achieve anything you want. By using the lessons in this video, you can manifest your dreams, stay focused, and improve your English fluency at the same time. Remember, positive thinking, visualization, action, gratitude, and patience are key to manifesting your desires. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Keep believing in yourself, and you will create the life you've always wanted.